What I have next, I said I want to open/run a production studio and a gaming studio. Okay, there's so much to talk about right here. Okay, let me talk about the gaming studio first, because the production studio is going to tie into my next image right here. The gaming studio, I have played games since I came out the womb. I have been playing games I can't even remember when I played games. I think the very first game that I had, it was like a little rinky-dink little kiddie game that you buy at like Toys R Us that had the little bogus blow-in cartridges and that you play. And my dad upgraded me from that to a Sega Genesis, and it blew my mind.
I remember that.
Yeah, Sega Genesis, and then Dreamcast. From Dreamcast, I had GameCube. I had GameCube for the longest. From GameCube to Xbox 360, from Xbox 360 over to the console, and that's where I'm at now. I play nothing but computer games. And I'm gonna talk about computer games in just a little bit. But I've been playing games ever since I was little, and they definitely kept me intrigued, and I definitely think it had to do something with my energy, my ADHD that they said I had, or my ADD that they say I have now. It kept my mind stimulated. I was always involved in some type of game, some type, it kept my brain going, because as you can tell, like in my overall vision, I have a lot going on up here, and sometimes it's hard to just stay focused. Video games help me focus my energy. That's why I wanted to play so many of them. But video games, as I got older, instead of it just becoming a stimulus for my mind, it started becoming a creative outlet for it. And so I started becoming more of an author, and I started like writing my own video games out, and my own short stories and things like that. I have a folder like this thick full of stories and stuff, because they're always here and I'm always writing them down. I even have audio recordings of myself saying another story or video game that I come up with, and I'm coming up with the means to make that a reality. So, but I explained to Teren once before, you gotta focus your energy sometimes before you can grow. It's like a tree, like this big tree right here. You gotta focus on one path first before you can start branching out into other things. Not to say that you don't want to do those things at all. It's just best to get a stable trunk first before you branch out. But yeah, back to the video games. Like I said, I have a thick ass folder upstairs full of video game ideas and short stories that I want to write, or I'll get them into an animation eventually one day as well. But that segues into my next thing, production studio. Production studio that comes with a lot of challenges in itself, and I have a big vision for the production studio, because I want to someday produce short movies. I want to produce short animations, games, maybe a big feature film. Also, an art studio would be a part of my production studio. I'm really into art. Hence why I have a lot of images. I really like art. But I want to be able to build that foundation for other black people to have that outlet to express themselves without them feeling that they got to come up with a whole bunch of money in order to get their creative energy out there to other people. Like if I were to do a production studio or a gaming studio, I wouldn't charge people an arm and a leg to, have a space where they can come and create. But going into my other image here, which is my company that I have, Black Anarchy. Black Anarchy is in itself a movement. It's not just a brand. Black Anarchy, I'm big into different aesthetics of African descent. So I'm really big into Afro-punk. I'm really big into Afrofuturism, and other aesthetics that deal African urban streetwear. I'm big into stuff like that because I feel like it's another way for us to get out a kind of energy that we don't necessarily get to put out there. So Black Anarchy, I want to be able to change the narrative on a few things, like the gaming industry. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of video games in the gaming industry, let's be honest, have just the Caucasian main protagonist, antagonist. Like, there isn't really much of us featured in games or other different animations and things like that. If you think about anime, even though anime originated, didn't originate from us, what is the coloring? Same thing with just like regular video games. Give me 5 video games that you can think of where a black person is the main antagonist and protagonist in that video game. I'll wait. You can't find it. And you can't count GTA 5 as one of them because he's sharing the spotlight with 2 other Caucasian men. Like, let's just be honest. There's only one that I could think of, and that was GTA San Andreas. You can't really think of that many. You can name on your hand how many video games that have that protagonist in it. So I want to change that narrative for Black Anarchy. And it's just simply kind of like it says, Black Anarchy. Like, I want to kind of disrupt the industry, you know what I'm saying, with us in that imagery. And it's not to come at anybody else hostilely. It's just simply, I want to put ourselves in that spotlight now. It's time. The next image I have is a warrior that has to do again with my art studio, production, gaming studio. It's just to help me remember, like, that's the type of imagery that I want to have.